Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Teague. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. This is AutoJeff Reviews. Today we're going to talk about how you can save money when buying cars in the middle of a vehicle shortage. I've got some tips I think can help. Here's the first tip, and it might seem elementary at its core roots, but it does make sense. If you don't have to buy a vehicle right now, then wait. If you don't need a car, a truck, or an SUV, then hold off a few months or a year and see if the prices return to normal. See, right now, we've got a spike in the price of new cars and in used cars. It's supply and demand. For the last, 16 years since I've been in the car business, people have seen that MSRP price and said, I want $5,000 off this Explorer. This BMW, I want $7,000 off. I want $6,000 off this Lexus. Well, it's a buyer's market for the last almost 20 years, right? Well, this time, supply and demand, these things are cyclical, right? So right now, it's going to be the seller's market. Not by choice, but by situation. There is no choice. Dealers, manufacturers, they just don't have the vehicles to provide for customers. So when prices are spiking because there's less supply, well, there's high demand right now, incredibly high demand. People want vehicles more now than ever. So what are dealers going to do? Sell them at sticker price. Sell them above sticker price. Sell them for a ridiculously high amount over sticker price. $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 above sticker price. I saw a RAV4 for, I believe it was $40,000 above sticker price. That's ridiculous, right? But people are paying it. So if you don't need to get one right now, you just want one, then try holding off. Just spend that time doing more research, watching my videos, watching Mr. Beast videos, things like that, right? Just wait. Maybe in a year, you can ask for, instead of sticker price, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 discount. It could help you save money. The next tip, new versus used. How are you going to make that decision? Before, it was a case of, let's say a new car, a 2022 was $42,000. Well, you could get a used one, let's say a 2019, for $35,000. So you could save $7,000 by going with a vehicle, instead of new, 3 years old, with maybe 60K miles, 50K miles, 70, maybe you'll find a cream puff that has 30,000 miles on it. Maybe somebody only drove 10,000 miles. Well, that's kind of an easy choice, right? If the vehicle hasn't been redesigned, it hasn't been dramatically refreshed, well, you might want to go with this one here. Save $7,000. That's a big chunk of change. This is something you're really going to want to watch out for, because let's say now in the vehicle shortage, a 2022 brand new, 5 to 10 miles on it just to get from the factory to the dealership. Well, $42,000, but then look here, a 2019 with those same amount of miles, it could be listed on the dealership, Carvana, CarMax, that kind of stuff, for 40, for 45. So you could actually be paying more for a 3-year-old vehicle than a new one. Now, the advantage to that used one that's advertised, meaning check mark, it's available. It's on a dealer's lot right now, so you kind of have to weigh. This one's available. You might be waiting 2 weeks, 3 months. Dealer doesn't know how long it's going to be, and that's possible. They might not literally know. They put in an order, and they wait for Toyota to accept it. So you could be waiting between 2 weeks, 6 months, 4 months. You just don't know. So you have to deal with the wild card and the uncertainty of when will this one show up for that price versus bird in the hand, but you might be paying more for a vehicle that's 3 years old. All right, this one here goes for those people who are not comfortable with the dealership that they're working with. In other words, if you've got a dealer that you trust, you bring your vehicle to them for service, they've never done you wrong, they make things easy, well, work with that person to secure the vehicle that you're trying to get. They will make it smooth, easy, seamless. They're going to eliminate or severely reduce the pressure and stress that you might be feeling during the buying process, whether it's that day or whether it extends over several months, right? They're going to stay in constant communication with you. That's who you want to work with, and they'll probably give you a fair price. But let's say you're new to an area and you've got 2 or 3 or 4 dealerships, right? That could be within 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Now's a good time to compare because one dealership might be charging MSRP price for that Lexus. Another dealership might be charging $2,000 over. Another dealership might charge $5,000 over. Just by searching a little bit, you'll find the best one for you and your family as far as budgeting. So that might be a way to go. Now, if one offers a lower price, but they don't sound comfortable with even being able to get that vehicle, I would probably stay away from that person because you want somebody who's going to be able to get the vehicle. It's one thing to promise a price, like, yeah, I'll give you a great price. I'll even give you a $1,000 discount. That's amazing, Scotty Kilmer, right? Well, if they can't get the vehicle, it doesn't matter the price that they promised you. It does not matter. And we've got those people who say, I feel like I've been ghosted by my dealership. They're not even staying in constant communication. I constantly have to bug them about the vehicle, the price, the deal. You're the customer. Why should you have to be the one to stay in contact with your dealership? You want somebody who's going to be trustworthy and work with you. So maybe the lowest price isn't the best one, but that is one way that you could save money. Now, let's say you've got one dealership that's in Lexington, Kentucky, right? Home of Car Confections, by the way. Car Confections YouTube channel. Love those guys, Mason and Drew. But anyway, let's say you got one in Lexington, Kentucky, and that's it. Well, 3 hours away, there's another dealership who sells the same product. Give them a try. If you don't mind driving, especially if you have a trade-in, drive that vehicle, or you can even fly in, drive it back. So there are ways to save money as long as you don't mind logistically going a little bit more, going that extra mile. Now this next one, if you're planning on trading in your vehicle for something else, or you just want to sell it to a dealer, you see all these ads, we buy, sell, trade, now, more money than ever for your trade. Well, guess what? Now it's probably true because this time you've seen the prices of used vehicles higher than ever they're selling for, right? How are they getting those vehicles? They're getting them from people like you who are selling them or trading them, or it's a lease turn-in, that kind of a thing. So what does that mean? You're going to be getting more for your vehicle. It's a generalization. It doesn't mean your specific vehicle, but it probably is. So if you've got that itch to get rid of vehicle number 1, 2, or 3 in your family, let's say last year you had your vehicle appraised for $15,000. It's a 2-year-old vehicle, blah, 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 Corolla, something like that. Okay, now get it appraised. What if it's worth $17,000? Or what if you had a vehicle, we'll use like a 21 Bronco Sport or something like that, right? Let's say that one is, you bought it for $34,000. Well, since dealerships can't get them right now, they're hard to find, same thing with the Ford Bronco, well, what if to sell that vehicle to them, they're offering you $38,000 for that vehicle? I'm not saying Ford Bronco, I'm saying it could be a BMW, it could be a Nissan, it could be anything like that, a Toyota 4Runner. People are getting ridiculous amounts for their trade-ins right now. This may be a great time. Don't put your money in the bank. Put your money here. Sell your vehicle. That's the way to earn interest, right? That's the way to earn money quickly, is you bought your 4Runner for $42,000. A dealership just offered you $55,000 on your 1-year-old vehicle because they're going to sell it for $60,000 during the vehicle shortage. It's interesting filming this over the course of a half an hour, how the sun is changing and you can see the shading and the reflection on me. We're going to keep going. We're like the mailman. We deliver. Well, if you're ordering your vehicle because it's not on a dealership lot, why not order it with less options if you don't need them? In other words, if you go to a car lot and let's say that Lexus has running boards on it, it's got floor mats, carpet mat, it's got paint protection, it's got this protection, it's got this, it's got mud flaps, it's got body side moldings. Those are excellent options, but that's on the vehicle right now. And that would take a vehicle maybe that cost $52,000, $51,000, and that turned it into something that's going to be $53,500. So you've raised your vehicle $2,500. It is on the lot, so that's a benefit there. And so there are benefits and values, and you could find that you could help improve the appearance of your vehicle, the safety, the technology, the comfort, the convenience. So those are good things, right? But if you have to order a vehicle from scratch, then maybe you can order it without those things. So let's say you want to get just a plain Lexus, and you want floor mats on it, and you want nothing else. Order it that way. If the dealership won't let you do that, they say, no, we don't do that, check with another dealer. Go back to my previous tip of comparing dealers. Like, I want to order it how I want to order it. Sometimes that's just not possible. Brands and manufacturers don't allow for customization and changing. But if you have to order something that you're going to be waiting for anyway, get it equipped how you want to. You could save money. APR. It's like Hans Gruber in Die Hard. FBI. APR. That has a big impact on how much you pay over the long haul for your vehicle. It also affects what your monthly payment's going to be. So if you've got a budget that you're very, very aware and cognizant of, you might want to look at this APR and compare. What do I mean? Well, let's make it easy. Let's say that Kia is offering 0%, up to 60 months, 72 months, 36 months even. There's no interest. WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. If your out the door price is $32,376, well, that's what you're going to be paying because there's no interest over 5 years or 6 years. You'll make your installment payments and you're good. Let's say they offer 1.9. That's a great rate. It's a really good rate, right? Especially now. Over 60 or 72 months. That's a fantastic rate. I would jump on that manufacturer price, okay? But now what happens, I'm going to erase, what happens if the dealership that you're working with says, well, on this particular vehicle, there's no special APR. We're offering you 5.99%, or we're offering you 4.3%. Now, if you have a high credit score, banks know you're an excellent risk. That means that you're probably going to pay your bills on time. You deserve a lower interest rate, right? If you have lower credit score, you probably know you have a lower credit score just from history and things like that. No judgments, but what we're saying is that might be the rate that you truly qualify for. And nothing's going to be an improvement over this, okay? What you can do, though, is you can check with your bank or credit union, and let's say they're offering 3.76, or they're offering 2.5% up to 72 months. Now we got something to talk about, folks. So sometimes with the banks or credit unions, it might not matter too much what your credit score was, whether it's a 720, 642, gosh, if you're in the 500s, you might be in this range anyway. But what I'm saying is, depending on your credit score, you might be eligible for a lower rate. Now, here's the deal. Dealerships want you to finance. So let's say your bank is offering 3.76%. That's definitely better than the 4.3% the dealership quoted you. What I would do is I would take the 3.76% that the dealership offered you, and then I would go back to the dealership and say, hey, my bank can offer me 3.76. Dealerships want you to finance with them. They want you to do business in-house, as they call it. So maybe they'll say, all right, well, we'll match that rate. Or they'll say, you know what? We can find a way. We'll talk with the banks. We can give you 3.5%. Doesn't always work in this case, but those are options that you can do. It doesn't hurt. Now, if it's 1.6 or 1.99 or something like that, you're probably not going to beat that with your bank. Go with the manufacturer. But in the scenario where you're not quite pleased with the rate that the dealership offered you, check out what it is at your bank or credit union, and maybe you'll do a little bit better, and then you'll save money on your monthly payment and over the long haul. All right, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Remember, these tips are designed to make sure, just as I wrote here, that whichever dealership you try to work with, that the whole process itself, whether it's that day or over many months, it's smooth, it's simple, it's easy, no stress, no pressure. So that means there has to be constant communication and trust both ways. Don't be afraid to ask your dealer, hey, I haven't heard anything in 3 weeks or 5 weeks about my vehicle. Is it still in the queue? Is it looking good? Is everything still on schedule with my anticipated April delivery? Something like that. Don't be afraid to talk with them. It's their job to stay in contact with you and let you know. Even if there's not an update, it's nice to hear from your salesperson and say, hey, we're still thinking about you. We haven't heard news back from so-and-so, but this is what we've got so far. So we're going to save money. I hope these tips helped. Please write down any questions you have about the car buying process, financing, doing deals, researching vehicles. I said that wrong. When you're researching your vehicles, I got it on the third try. Woo! Okay? Leave me questions. I'll answer those because I want to help you buy a car. I want to help you buy a truck and an SUV, and I want to make it easy for you. So you can take my tips, transfer them to your own process, your own research style, purchase style, and I can help you learn more about your vehicles. So leave your questions down below. Thanks everybody so much. Please subscribe to AutoJeff Reviews. You'll be getting regular updates once a week, I would think, on how to buy a new car. I'm going to give you tips, suggestions, helpful hints, those kind of things. And I'll also review cars too, all brands. So hit subscribe if you're returning. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much. Leave a comment and let me know what video ideas you have in mind. I'm on Instagram and TikTok as well. Woo! AutoJeff Reviews, and you can ask me questions at autojeff.com. Thanks everybody. Peace.